Hello, well we're into a 2-week recess here in Parliament, so it's quite quiet around the building, and it'll be quiet from my perspective as well in terms of my time in the parliamentary precinct for the next few days, because I'm off to Los Angeles. I won't quite break into song. There are many of those that I'm sure you could sing along to, but the purpose of going on the trip's a very serious one. Some months ago, the film unit in New Zealand came to me and said, look, because of the nature and the role of Prime Minister, you have the opportunity to open doors, get in there and meet people and promote New Zealand as a place to make movies, promote the jobs that come with those movies being made. So would I sort of lend a hand and possibly do that? Coupled with that, James Cameron, as you're aware, the great filmmaker who made, amongst other things, Titanic and Avatar, has moved down to New Zealand, and him and his business partner, John Landau, have been very keen to promote New Zealand. And so they've offered to hold a dinner with the heads of many of the studios in Los Angeles and in the United States. And so this is just a great opportunity to say, well, look, yeah, we're making fantastic movies in the form of The Hobbits and obviously the trilogy with The Lord of the Rings for Warner Brothers, but there's the capacity to do more in New Zealand. And these studios have a bit of a sense of New Zealand. Many of them have made bits and pieces out here, but we think we can do more. And so that's really what that's all about. It's a big industry, $3 billion in revenue, employs thousands and thousands of people. So this is at the high end. I think it's really where New Zealand wants to be going in terms of a niche but very creative and brilliant industry. It's the sort of thing that a lot of our youngsters aspire to work in, and we need to nurture that along. We have a pretty good offering, so we give people a rebate if they make a movie in New Zealand under the Big Budget Film Grant Scheme. We've made sure that our law is flexible and understandable, so that was the change we really made when we had to clarify the definition of a contractor for the making of the Hobbit movies. So we've got a good offering, but so do lots of countries, so we've got to sell New Zealand as, a great place to make movies, good people, good scenery, fun place to be. So that's really the purpose of the trip, and that's the reason that we're going. The other thing I thought, the Film New Zealand's actually provided a little bit of information. I thought I might just to talk to you a little bit about it, because it is actually really interesting. So if you go and have a look at what's happening in New Zealand, what's happened and who's filming here, just as an example, it started about 20 years ago. So Ron Howard was filming The Willow. Obviously we've had Lord of the Rings trilogy, but you've had movies like Sony made Vertical Limit, The Last Samurai from Warner Brothers made out here, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by Disney. King Kong, Universal Pictures was obviously filmed out here, The Lovely Bones from DreamWorks, and it goes on and on. The Adventures of Tintin, Avatar, obviously the Hobbit trilogy, and then in terms of what's happening on the television front, Penguins of Madagascar was made by Nickelodeon a little bit out here. Legend of the Seeker, Disney made that out here. Power Rangers, the Walt Disney Company made that out here, and so forth and so on. So the basic point is, look, this is a big industry. We've got a great proposition out here. We should go out there and promote that. So that's really what this trip's all about. Pretty quick trip. Leave Wednesday night, back on Sunday morning, but a good opportunity to promote New Zealand. The only other thing that's probably worth quick mention is crime rate was down pretty much across New Zealand. Only place that increased slightly was Auckland, and that was simply because of the alcohol ban during the Rugby World Cup. So hats off to the police, who are doing a tremendous job keeping our community safe. Appreciate the support that they give to other New Zealanders, but I think a good result overall, because people care an awful lot about whether their community is safe, and the bottom line message is it's getting safer.